I'm 81 years old. I have children, and they no longer speak to me. No phone calls, no visits, no holidays together. For a long time, I told myself a story that made the silence easier to live with. I told myself they were busy. I told myself the world had changed. But sometimes the hardest truth isn't what others did to you. It's admitting what you did to them. I spent most of my life believing I was a good parent. Not perfect, but solid, reliable, present in the ways that mattered. I worked, I provided, I stayed. In my generation, that's what love looked like. You showed love by sacrificing, by putting your head down, by doing what needed to be done. I thought emotions were something you handled quietly. I thought problems were solved, not talked to death. I thought feelings would sort themselves out over time. I didn't realize that silence doesn't heal anything. It just hides the damage. When my children were young, I was always tired. Not angry, not cruel, just tired. I came home from work with my head still full of deadlines and worries. When they talked, I listened halfway. When they complained, I offered solutions. When they cried, I told them they'd be fine. I thought I was teaching strength. What I was really teaching was emotional distance. They learned quickly not to bring big feelings to me, not because I told them not to, but because I made it uncomfortable when they did. And children are smart. They adjust. They stop asking. They stop sharing. They stop expecting. At the time, I called that independence. Now I know it was the beginning of the end. As they grew older, the conversations became shorter, safer, surface level. School was fine. Friends were fine. Life was fine. And I believed them, or maybe I wanted to, because asking deeper questions meant risking answers I didn't want to hear. Years passed. They grew up, they moved out. They built lives of their own. From the outside, we looked like a normal family. We spoke on holidays. We exchanged polite updates. We smiled in photos, but closeness had already faded. I never asked if I had hurt them. I never asked if they felt heard. I never apologized for the years I was physically present, but emotionally absent. I told myself the past was the past, that bringing it up would only cause problems. What I didn't understand was that the past was already living inside them. The distance didn't happen all at once. It happened quietly. A call returned later than usual. A visit that felt rushed. A conversation that stayed shallow. I noticed it, but I didn't address it. I told myself I was respecting their space. The truth is, I was afraid of hearing that I failed in ways I never meant to, afraid of learning that good intentions don't cancel real pain. Then one day, the silence became impossible to ignore. No call on my birthday, no reply to a message, no explanation. I waited. Days passed, then weeks, then months, and the anger came first. I told myself I didn't deserve this. I told myself I had earned more. But anger didn't last. It never does. What came next was something heavier, loneliness mixed with regret. I replayed memories late at night, moments I brushed off, conversations I shut down, times I chose being right over being kind. I remembered one sentence my child once said to me, "You never really listen." I laughed back then. I don't laugh now. One night, sitting alone in my kitchen, something finally broke through. I realized my children didn't cut me off suddenly. They slowly gave up. They tried to talk. They tried to connect. They tried to be seen. And when nothing changed, they stopped trying. Silence isn't always punishment. Sometimes it's protection. That realization hurt more than anything else, because it meant this wasn't about cruelty. It was about survival. Here's what I did wrong, honestly. I minimized their feelings because mine seemed bigger. I believed providing excused my absence. I thought love was proven through sacrifice alone. I offered advice when they needed understanding. I explained instead of apologizing. I defended myself instead of listening. And when I did apologize, it came with conditions. I'm sorry, but you have to understand that's not an apology. That's self-protection. I also believed respect meant not being questioned. Disagreement felt like disrespect, so I shut conversations down. Over time, my children learned that honesty around me came with consequences, so they stopped being honest. Then they stopped being close. Then they stopped showing up. And here is the hardest truth I've learned at 81. You can love your children deeply and still hurt them deeply. Intent does not erase impact. I never wanted to push my children away, but wanting doesn't matter when behavior stays the same. And children don't owe parents access to their lives if that access comes at the cost of their peace. That sentence still hurts to say, but it's true. I wish I had learned this sooner. I wish I had listened without fixing. I wish I had asked questions instead of giving lectures. I wish I had admitted when I was wrong without explaining myself. I wish I had understood that being emotionally safe matters more than being right. Children don't remember how hard you worked. They remember how you made them feel. They remember whether they felt seen, whether they felt safe, whether they felt like they mattered. I don't know if my children will ever come back into my life. That's something I've had to accept. I've written letters I may never send. I've practiced apologies I may never speak. I've learned lessons that came late, but late does not mean meaningless. If you're a parent listening to this and your children still talk to you, don't assume that will always be true. Distance doesn't announce itself. It grows quietly. And if you feel it starting, don't ignore it like I did. Ask how they feel. And listen without interrupting. Apologize without defending yourself, especially then. Stop keeping score. Stop leading with authority. Lead with care. And if you're already distant, don't wait for them to fix it. Reach out with humility, not to be forgiven, but to take responsibility, because pride can cost you years you don't get back. I'm 81 years old. I don't get many do-overs. But if my story helps even one parent pause, listen, or soften, then this silence has taught me something. Love doesn't run on autopilot, and the quiet you ignore today can become the silence you live with tomorrow. Subscribe if you want to hear lessons learned the hard way.